Most people spend 30, 35, even 40 years waiting for the right time to retire, waiting until they have just a little more saved, waiting until the market is in a better spot, waiting until the kids are settled, waiting until they feel completely ready. Here's what nobody tells you. Waiting is costing you something money can never buy back. And it is not just your time, although that is part of it. According to research from Harvard Medical School, people who retire earlier report measurably better health outcomes, stronger relationships, and significantly higher life satisfaction scores than people who delay retirement by even 2 or 3 years. But here is the part that surprised me. The financial case for retiring sooner, when done correctly, is actually stronger than most people think. You don't have to wait until 70. You don't have to keep grinding. And in this video, I am going to show you 5 real, evidence-based reasons why retiring as soon as you responsibly can might be the smartest financial and personal decision you make. Reason 1. Your health deteriorates faster than you realize. Let me start with something that doesn't show up on your 401k statement, but absolutely should. A long-term study published in the British Medical Journal followed over 14,000 workers across multiple countries. What they found was striking. People who retire at 65 have a 14% lower risk of dying in the next decade compared to people who keep working past 65 after controlling for health status going in. Think about that. And it is not just longevity. The American Institute of Stress reports that workplace stress is the leading source of chronic stress in Americans, and it is getting worse every decade. For people in their 50s and 60s, carrying that stress load has compounding effects on heart health, immune function, and cognitive decline. Here is a scenario to think about. Imagine 2 neighbors, both 62, both with $500,000 saved. Dave decides to work 3 more years to hit $600,000. Linda retires now with her $500,000 and a solid withdrawal plan. Dave adds $100,000 to his balance, but he also adds 3 more years of chronic stress, disrupted sleep, and limited time for exercise and relationships. Linda spends those 3 years walking, cooking, spending time with her grandchildren, and managing her stress. By age 75, who do you think is actually healthier and arguably wealthier in ways that matter? The point is not to scare you. The point is your health is a financial asset, and it has a shelf life. This is reason number 1. Reason 2, the 1 more year trap. This is one of the most common patterns I see, and it is quietly devastating. It works like this. You hit a savings milestone, let's say $400,000. You feel good, but then you think, if I work 1 more year, I'll have $450,000. That's much safer. So you work 1 more year. You hit $450,000, and now you think, you know what? $500,000 feels like a real number. Let me just get there. This is called the 1 more year syndrome, and researchers who study retirement behavior have documented it extensively. The finish line keeps moving, not because you need more money, but because work has become your identity, your structure, your social life, and retiring feels like jumping off a cliff into the unknown. Here's the financial reality. If you are 62 with $450,000 saved and a reasonable Social Security benefit of $1,600 a month starting at 64, a basic 4% withdrawal rate gives you $18,000 a year from your portfolio. Add in Social Security, and you are at $37,200 a year, and that does not even count if you have a spouse, a pension, or other income. For many people in their early 60s, the money is actually there, the readiness is not, and the 1 more year trap is what keeps them grinding long past when they needed to. Now, before we get to reason number 3, here is something most people never think about, and it completely changes how you look at your spending in retirement. Most people assume their retirement spending will go up every year. They plan for inflation, for healthcare, for long-term care. And yes, those costs are real, and we should plan for them. But here's what the data actually shows, and it surprises almost everyone I share it with. Reason 3. Your peak spending years are earlier than you think. J.P. Morgan's annual retirement guide tracks spending patterns across thousands of retired households. What they consistently find is a spending pattern that looks like a smile, high in early retirement, declining in the middle years, and then rising again only in the final years due to healthcare.
Your peak spending years in retirement are roughly ages 62 to 72. These are your go-go years, when you still have the energy and health to travel, pursue hobbies, visit family, and truly enjoy your freedom. After that, spending naturally slows down. Fidelity's research on retiree spending shows that household spending drops by an average of 1% to 2% per year in the middle retirement years, not because people are cutting back, but because they naturally slow down. What does this mean for you? It means that if you wait until 70 to retire, you may be retiring into your slower years and missing the window when retirement is most enjoyable and most financially efficient. Imagine a woman we'll call Carol. She retires at 63. In her first decade, she spends about $52,000 a year, traveling to see her grandkids, maintaining her home the way she likes it, staying active. By her mid-70s, her spending has naturally settled to around $44,000, and she is content, healthy, and financially secure. If Carol had waited until 70 to retire, she would have saved an extra $90,000, but she would have traded 7 of her most active years for that money, and her first decade of retirement would have been her slowest decade, not her best. That is a trade many people make without fully understanding it. That is reason number 3.
Reason 4. The hidden value of time in early retirement. This one is harder to put a number on, but I want to try because I think it matters enormously. When you retire at 62 versus 67, you gain approximately 1,825 days, nearly 5 years of mornings where you wake up without an alarm, 5 years of Tuesday afternoons that belong entirely to you, 5 years of being present for family in ways that a 50-hour workweek never allowed. Researchers at Stanford Center on Longevity found that time affluence, the feeling of having enough time, is one of the strongest predictors of well-being in older adults, more than income, more than net worth. People who feel time-rich report higher levels of happiness, better relationship quality, and here's the financial angle, lower impulsive spending, because when you have time, you stop compensating with purchases. There is also a compounding effect that most people miss. When you retire earlier, you have time to optimize your financial situation in ways that a busy working life does not allow. You have time to do Roth conversions during the low-income years between 62 and 70 before RMDs begin. You have time to actively manage your healthcare choices and avoid IRMAA surcharges. You have time to shop for the best Medicare supplement plan rather than just grabbing whatever is easiest. These optimizations, done thoughtfully in early retirement, can save a typical household $20,000 to $50,000 over the full course of retirement. Time, when used well, is a financial strategy.
Now, none of what I've said matters if you are not actually financially ready. So let me give you a simple framework, not a magic number, but a real test you can apply to your own situation. There are 3 questions. If you can answer yes to all 3, you are likely closer to ready than you think. Question 1. Can your guaranteed income cover your basic needs? Add up your Social Security benefit, even if you take it early, plus any pension, plus any part-time work you might enjoy doing. Does that cover your housing, utilities, food, and basic health care? If yes, your portfolio becomes a bonus, not a lifeline. That changes everything psychologically and financially. Question 2. Does your portfolio support the gap? Take your total annual spending and subtract your guaranteed income. Whatever is left, that is your gap. Multiply your gap by 25. That is the portfolio size that supports the 4% rule for a 30-year retirement. If your gap is $20,000 a year, you need $500,000. If your gap is $12,000 a year, you need $300,000. Many people find their number is lower than they expected. Question 3. Do you have a healthcare bridge? If you retire before 65 and leave employer coverage, you need a plan to bridge to Medicare. This could be a spouse's plan, the ACA Marketplace, or COBRA. Healthcare is the single biggest wild card in early retirement, but it is solvable. Average ACA Marketplace premiums for a 62-year-old with $50,000 in income run about $400 to $600 a month, and those costs drop significantly once Medicare begins at 65. If you can answer yes to all 3 of those questions, the case for retiring sooner becomes very compelling. That is reason number 5.
Before you go, I want to hear from you. What is your target retirement age right now? I read every single one, and I'll do my best to give you a more specific answer for your situation. There are no wrong answers here. Whatever you share, you'll probably find that someone else is in exactly the same spot, and that community matters more than most people realize. If this video helped you think about retirement differently, I'd love it if you subscribed. I post a new video every week, always focused on helping people in their 50s and 60s make smart, calm, confident decisions about their money and their life. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.